but within 5 minutes he gets bored of it, he goes to the next video. So
Mm.
it's like, what is this dopamine high? The high that he's getting, he's just not getting it.
Yeah.
And he said, I cannot go and afford for another woman to go to spa, which is easily available everywhere in the world.
Mm.
So he doesn't want to do that, so he's already having that urge, but
Mm.
he can't help but to also succumb to masturbation because he feels immediate happiness.
Mm.
But his relationship is getting the brunt of it because the wife is asking, am I not attractive enough? So he has to knock down the key and say, no, you're fine.
Mm.
So this kind of like small topics are happening. Real issues are saying happening. So when people come to you, sir, my question is, mostly what are the cases you're dealing with on any particular sexual issues? Because the list I've given you are just some, because my limited knowledge is only that much. So that's why I want to talk to you and see, is there any other male genitalia related topics that we can talk about? And if you feel that specifically, this is not only going to be done in Singapore, sir. I'm intending to bring it to Malaysia, which is going to be even more taboo because it's Islamic country.
True.
And I have a lot of Bangladesh friends, so we are seeing how we can bring this content same, but the language will be different.
Mm.
So, is there anything else, sir, that I mean, first of all, the number of people coming to you, is there any particular problem they coming with?
Most of them face ED, and then the most common one, again, I would say around half of them at least are with PE. PE means premature ejaculation, where they feel that they are not enough to satisfy their partner. Or whatever they saw, again, as we discussed few minutes back, like on the porn or somewhere in the deemed world, they feel that they are not up to that level, and then they might feel that that's the real world, and then they are not fitting into that real world because that guy was able to perform in the video for half an hour, and they might be finishing off in 4-5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
usually,
then
as a big one, like I mean, at this juncture, usually, like for example, I'm right now in my 42. Okay, I'm 42 right now. So usually, is there a particular cap of like, okay, a 42 guy can last for let's say about 10 minutes, whereas a 20-year-old guy can last for 50 minutes. Is there any particular median?
there are studies done on this, though these studies are not like on thousands of people, they are on hundreds of people, and there's a particular term used as IELTS, like intravaginal latency time, intra-ejaculatory latency time, IELTS. Okay.
IELTS.
Yeah. So that's actually giving us a like average scientifically how much time it takes to give a shot after entering the vagina. So average is definitely higher in the younger age. Gradually, as the nerves and muscles of the individual gets like weak with growing up, I would say like age or reproductive system is getting a bit clogged up and all the scenarios. So in that part, the controls starts getting weak. So they are not able to either maintain the hardness, or even if they are able to maintain the hardness, they give shot faster. So this and then there is another thing that's like not highlighted in that study. Who is the partner first? Is it a permanent long-term relationship, or it's again keep on changing, or what was the scenario, or again how long was the, I would say like situation where they are not having any sex with other partners at all. So again in Singapore there are, like I told you about the people who are working here, or even in Malaysia and other countries, people who are working, they are living away from their partner. So then there is a gap of maybe 6 months to a year, or even sometimes 2 years, like particularly in the corona phase it was sometimes 3 years. So there's like 100 to 500 days. If any person is living without any sexual activity, then the system already starts getting weak or getting imbalanced actually. So that's a normal scenario where we keep on getting secretions, we keep on getting high and lows in our hormones, and then we need, as being adults, we need some partner to share all that part. But this is actually creating a huge imbalance in the overall society, because when they need it, maybe they are in the teenage, they don't have it, and then when they want it, then maybe they are married also, but still they don't have partner with them.
Okay.
So even with guys, like, and then with girls it's different. So with girls, once they get pregnant, their hormones and things starts changing. So they have like more of like motherly emotions, and then they are more involved with kids. But with men, it always or most of the time remains like they need sex or emotional attachment or physical attachment as a part of their system. But
Okay.
if it becomes a gap, then it starts creating a imbalance. So either the system will damage, or the emotions will damage, or the hormones will start getting imbalance.
Okay.
So to keep a system weak, you don't have to do anything actually. You just have to stop using it.
Okay.
For example, if you want your arm to get weak, what you should do? Just put it in a plaster, say for about 2 months, and then when you bring it out of the plaster, this will be half of the size of the other arm, because you have not used it. That's all. There was no bone breaking, nothing. Just put it in the plaster for 2 months and then you bring it and it's weak. So same goes with the reproductive system. Anything in our body that's not used, it will become weak. So right from your brain to your eyes to your anything.
Very well said. Very well said. Nice.
So if they don't use it for 6 months, so called like no masturbation, no sexual activity, nothing, and everything like, I don't know, like godly people, and then completely away from any sexual thoughts and any sexual being, and it's gone. And when they need it, they thought it was a switch off on and on. Like they will off it, done, on it, and it will work. No, it will not work.
Okay, wow. That's something very valuable for sure. Because there are some people in my circle, they are vegans, okay? They are vegans, they are either like super God-fearing people. They like some of them are Christians, some of them are Hindus, some of them are Muslims.
Yep.
So they can't feel like, if my partner is not around, I cannot even like fondle myself. I can't even touch it. Even if they said, it's very, very guilty for me to see another woman and jerk it off when I have a wife, when I have a husband. So they are again coming back to this guilt. So they're feeling like, how can I see another man? I mean, yeah, but you're not touching it. Yeah, but I just can't. Then there's nothing much we can do. And some of them say, no, I think of my partner and then I jerk off. And I say, okay. But even then they feel guilty. Yeah, so there are a few topics we will be actually talking. So right now, after this meet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be openly calling out for this narratives that of people from the society say what exactly is the sexual problem. Not that I'm a doctor, but they can actually do this more like a sharing, because the theatre that I'm doing also, it's actually going to have pre-show discussion and a post-show discussion as well. So that it's more like be a 1 week event here. So if you're going to be in Singapore, I'm more than happy to invite you as one of my panel discussion people as well. And so you mentioned that there's along with ED, there's also PD. Is there a particular type of food you usually will tell them? You say, you should refrain from this. Recently I went to Dubai. I just came back from Dubai yesterday. So that's why I just thought it out. So they are eating a lot of dates, figs, and they're saying that instead of coffee, go for chai. And chai helps you in sexual performance. I'm not sure whether there's any science to back this up, but if someone's coming to you and say, sir, my friends are actually going for about, let's say, 10 minutes strong without any pills, but I'm just finishing off with you. And you did mention about all these parameters like who's your partner, how regular. But is there any particular type of food they should refrain from, or you should advise them to take more?
Particularly depends upon the individual. So what they are like, in which age they are. If their body is already having a higher activity of hormones, then they might need the things that are going to help them to balance it.
Okay.
If they usually have a partner with them, like they are normally living with their partner, then even taking stimulants like coffee, or even like having food that's gonna boost up their hormones, is not going to create a problem, because they already have a partner with them. But if they're having such food without even knowing about it, like, oh, okay, this is good for my health, but you don't have the guy or the partner with you to share your so-called health, then it's gonna create a big problem for you, because you get your erections, you are waking up whole night in the like that heat because of that food that you took, and not able to sleep, and next day you got to go to work, and then how will you go to work? Either you jerk it off, or you got to find some partner.
So by jerking off, right? So like what it actually reduces your anxiety, or you actually say jerking off, right? It actually makes your body even more hotter. So at that point of time, so when you are letting it off, doesn't it make your whole system even more wobbly and like even not want to function at work?
There are like phases with that. So initially it's like piling up. So the hormonal activity is piling up, and then you start with your emotions or touch or smell and actually going through a sexual activity, or with the self pleasure that we call so-called masturbation, and then you reach a peak, and then you give a shot. The moment you give a shot, then the body relaxes. And that relaxation and that movement when you give a shot, there are a lot of hormones that are released, right from dopamine that gives you a feel good factor, then you have oxytocin that give you loved feeling, and sometimes like the topic that
What's the love feeling again?
oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
That's a hormone. That's a female hormone released in males a bit during that phase, and that's why you start getting attached to that.
Okay.
So either the person or the girl that you watched on the porn, or the way that you got the shot, like even it can be a toy, it can be a stimulating unit like a flashlight, but you start getting attached to that thing because at that moment the oxytocin released, and then you feel like, oh wow, so nice. So whatever is in front of you is so nice. Either it's a girl or a toy or a porn or whatever.
But it's a feeling.
It's a feeling.
So it's not only the dopamine, but it's the oxytocin.
Yeah.
So oxytocin is more found in women.
Yeah, it's normally in women, but at that moment a bit is released in men also. That gives you a loved and attachment feeling. You start getting attached to the person. Even like there are people who are just going just for a spa or something, and then if they had a good vibe on that day, they gave one or two good shots, and then they start getting attached to that spa lady or maybe spa guy, and then they feel, oh, that was nice. It was nothing. They never planned for it, but because of that movement, oxytocin released, and whatever there was in front of them, that ambience, that person, and whatever, they start getting attached to it because they feel loved for that. And that's brain chemistry. Like that's basic science that's happening with all of us, because at the end of the day, whatever we are civilized animals, but we are animals.
Yes. Yeah. Very true. Nice. Ken, thank you, sir. Thank you for your immediate sharing on this. Is there on another note, like whatever list I've sent you, right, sir? Is there anything that you feel in Asia is a bit of a problem? Apart from whatever we spoke about PD and the PD.
First and the big problem for Asians is not to talk about it.
Okay.
That's the biggest problem. Not to talk, not to do, and this is a sin, and then whatever you do is wrong, and then right from the day the kids are born, either girl or a guy, or like I would say girl or a guy, like boy or a girl, I would say in the initial teenage or before that. So they are told this is wrong, dirty, this is dirty. So until unless this dirty doesn't become good and nice, and then whatever, like maybe something to be revolved around when you are in a phase of how to say, like in the phase where you feel that this is the best thing that they can get in life, that's a huge change. From the day you are born, it's dirty, it's the worst thing, it's wrong, you touch it, you talk about it, everything is wrong. Even you pee, that's wrong thing, that's dirty, don't touch it. If you touch it, if it's there on your hand, wash, very dirty thing. And then after a few years of teenage and then in the adult, this is the everything that you want.
Yeah.
And there are like videos where you see like all this pee and anal sex and this and that and everything going on, and then you feel, man, oi, this is the wrong thing they are doing. This was the like, how can they even touch it when it's so wrong that something coming out of it, I have to wash 5 times my hand in the whole day.
Right.
So this scenario where like what's right and wrong is actually told by like our like elder generation, because for a kid everything is like normal, no right, no wrong, and the right or wrong are the definitions that are given by the parents to the kids. Even we don't know what's it, like if this is a pen or a pencil or I don't know what we call it in a language, that is also told by, according to the language, by the mother or the father.
Correct.
So now how to use it, what to do with it, they're gonna tell it.
Yeah, I mean, like I come from a very Asian background. I mean, my mom like strict Muslims. Nobody told me what is masturbation until the point when I actually had a situation one day. When it came out, I actually told my friend in the train, in the metro, say, hey, there's something white coming out. Am I having AIDS? That is how I even know that, like, oh my god, she was happening. But it is wet dreams, when you are sleeping in this time. So my friends all started laughing because, like, hey, that's supposed to be count, man. You have kind of attained manhood. So now with that, right? So a lot of people, Asians, are having problems talking to kids about it. They say, okay, I think my child is about 15 years old, I'll start talking about it. Right now, at the age of 9, in Singapore, there are cases where a 10-year-old kid actually made another woman pregnant. I mean, a 10-year-old child actually, once a girl becomes of a woman, of puberty, 11 years old, 12 years old, she gets pregnant. So, how do we then say, okay, this is the right time for the parents to talk, because the amount of materials that are coming is like, for example, if you were to look at Netflix right now, it's 3/4 porn, semi-porn.
True.
So, be it the way they dramatize or put the thumbnails, it's so, even if my parents were to restrict my site, I still have Netflix to go and check out those options.
True.
So they are smarter than before. So instead of 15 years old, now the urgency for us, for parents to talk to the kids, can be as young as 8 or 9.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so on that ground, how do you think parents should actually open up this topic? Like, some people actually use, okay, you know what, this is actually the old, they use a lot of cartoon stuff. But the kids are there because of whatever the parents did together. So, how do you then suggest that parents should handle this opening up of a topic?
True. I think in the last about a decade, the things have changed a lot. Because before, like maybe in our era of like 30, 40 years back, parents or teachers or maximum books were the options for information. Yes. There was no other option. Or maximum the television that used to come, whatever they used to tell us about in the dramas or maybe in the news channel, that's all, done. So now in the last about a decade or so, the information that they are getting is not from one source. It's from everywhere. It's so democratized that with the click of a button, even a 5-year-old kid, if the kid can read and understand something, or maybe listen to and understand something, whatever, he can do it. And then the information is already there, but in a confused state, because whatever he got to know from the parent is like something wrong, and then when he clicked it, something else is written there. Or maybe he is watching something and they are talking something else. So then the confusion already starts at 5 or 6 now. We are not even talking of teenage of 12, of 13 and 14 and 15. It's 5 and 6. So if there is something that's going on wrong as per like my family traditions, according to my parents, and then something that's normalized or told about or dramatized or maybe shown in a different way in the video, then the kids already start getting confused what's happening here.
So that's why, can we say, because of the parents' interventions not happening at such a young age, because no one says, you know what, I'm a male, I have a male genitalia, I have a penis, but I have a female things inside. So I don't know whether our time, sir, I am not sure how old you are, but I'm just saying that.
About 43, almost same your age.
Okay,
43,
okay.
44. Like I'm 1980 born.
Oh, okay, my age one. Okay, so we go for it. Okay, I'm a man. I think this is what a man should do, and just okay, let's chalo. But people say no, no, they're sitting down, pausing, and see like they're self-diagnosing themselves. I think I'm a woman. They're coming up with this. Oh, please address me by he, her, him. You know the pronouns.
Yeah.
That's getting really, really getting pissed off. Where I went for an event and say, how do you address yourself? I say, you call me Salim Hadi or you call me Mr. Salim Hadi. So we call you he, him, her. I mean he, him, like he's like in a room, like that culture is very new to me.
True.
Who does that? But that is very normal in Singapore, sir.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yep.
So, do you think if parents have intervened in the earlier stage, this kind of like whole LGBT thing might have been cleared off, or?
The more confusions that we create in the starting, that's actually gonna make the kid away from their parents and then try to get the solutions from some other people that might not be the right guidance, and then things starts getting jumbled up.
Okay.
And then pre-assuming, and then gradually the assumption starts getting layers, and then after a few weeks to months it becomes like done, I'm this.
Okay, so yeah, because like what you mentioned very spot on, sir, like Asians don't talk about it, and if parents don't talk about it, and like for example, I see this normal observation when shopping complexes, when parents are very busy, they just give this whole gear,
Yep.
phone,
True.
and say, okay, you guys should watch it. So when child actually has been exposed to this, let's say as year as like 1-2 years old, when the child is actually having this on a dining table, and when he's about 15 or 18 years old, the parents get so pissed off. I'm just asking, why are you so pissed off about? It is you who told him that or told her that this is the world.
Yeah.
And now you're fighting a lost battle.
Yeah, true. Because right from the day one they were born, like mobile was like their second mother. So even
Yeah.
for feeding, to make the kid concentrate or like just at ease and sit down on the table or maybe on the bed, they have to have something to like let them stick to one thing, and that one thing is mostly mobile. So just may play some cartoon or some boom boom,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sound is coming, and then they are having it, and then they are feeling like this is the only way, or like where we are going to get more information than what our parents are telling us. And then parents have judgment, parents have like maybe scolding, and then whatever other things going on where they feel a bit afraid from the parent. And with the mobile there is no judgment. You ask the Siri, and Siri is going to tell the direct word whatever. They're gonna not judge you according to your age. If you talk like ask Siri like what sex am I, Siri will give you a flat answer according to whatever information is there on the data. Simple.
Right. Nice. Just to thank you so much, and just to finish off just in our limited time, I just want to ask with regards to a female who is going to get a male genital. Is just one thing it's like in my highest peak of my drama, where people are all talking about having this here, whereas the woman feels that you know what, I'm done with this vagina. I wanna have a penis. So that is like whoa, that you are altering God's creation. Or people, for those people who believe in God, like there's some people say, well, God is just, I mean, like made up, man. I don't know, let's not go there. So, but for a female to actually say, you know, I want to have something sticking out from my body, what are your thoughts on that, sir? Or have you actually dealt with any people like that?
There are people, and then again, that's the way the system is making females so-called empowered. So when you say women empowerment, there is no word of power for women. They are structurally different. Even a single cell, like when we were in the medical college, by just seeing a bone, by seeing a few strands of the muscle, you can identify this muscle is from a male or a female.
Wow,
Every
okay.
structure is different. Even in our muscles, like normal muscles, externally we look all same, but our muscles can pick up heavy stuff, but for a few minutes. We have more of red cells in the red fibers in the muscles, but in the women there are white more fibers. So it's opposite actually. So they can pick up lighter wait for a longer time, but we cannot do that for a longer time. For the lighter weight also we can do it for a lesser time, but we can pick up heavy for a small period. So it's an entirely different body structure. So even there had been like even many TED Talks or discussions where they are talking about sex as a differentiation between the medications that should be given. So we are talking about what about the age, this age, for children it should be given or not, for at 20 age it should be given or not. What about men and women? So why I'm talking about this topic here, so when women want to become male, they can only change the external genitalia. Their structure is different. Their muscles are different, their heart is different, their bones are different, everything is different. They cannot change the shape of their bone. But with the technology developing in the medical science, where we are externally introducing the hormones into their body, it's a complete change if they keep on taking it from 2 to 10 years. In 2 years, you can't even identify the person. In 2 years of hormone therapy, you cannot even identify the person because the girl will start having beard, the voice will change, her muscles will develop, her breasts will shrink, and everything will be different. In just 2 years, you cannot identify that this is the same girl because she is looking like a guy now with a beard and everything. Because of the technology with hormones and all that, everything is changing. But again, the topic that you picked up where with the surgeries being done and then reversing the vagina to make a penis and all that, that is extreme, I would say, where people are choosing to change their not simply identity but the organs that were provided later.